Welcome back, and welcome again to Classics 397, Greek Myth and Tragedy. I'm Professor Nicholas Sterling, and with the University of Rhode Island, teaching online, and I'm really glad to have you in the course. Thank you for providing your introduction in the Introductions Forum so that I can get to know you better a little bit and make sure that your goals are in line with the goals of the course. It'll be really great to get to know you better as we go along. And so I look forward to having you in the class and see how well you can learn the material and hopefully get a lot from it. Okay, so since you have been on Sakai now, you've seen a little bit about its layout, but now we're going to introduce it fully and formally so that you have a good idea of where to find the information that you need and the assignments that have to be completed. It's very important to orient yourself properly about where everything is because the assignments are in specific locations and they have to be completed at specific times in order to be able to satisfy the course requirements. So let's get started now getting you oriented. The first thing I'd like you to do is to pause the video and locate calendar on the workshop. The calendar is what lists the dates when the course is considered to be in session. So please pause the video and locate calendar and please open it. Okay, have you got the calendar open on Sakai? Okay, excellent. All right, now you'll see that the calendar has the entries on it on different dates for, again, when the course is considered to be in session. These dates are really important because these are due dates for when assignments must be submitted on time to be able to avoid getting any late deductions. You will see that those dates correspond on the calendar, on the forums, and on the syllabus. Pay close attention to all of those so that you will know when assignments need to be completed and submitted on time, again, in order to satisfy the course requirements properly. Each of the entries on the calendar has the YouTube video links. That's these videos that are provided for you in order to give you information on the background of the course, the three authors, Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides, the plays you're reading, and the historical and cultural background about Athens and the rest of Greece to give you context for the plays that you're reading. So those video links are given to you there on the calendar, as well as also in this list here that we'll mention in a little bit. And please make sure each day that you do watch those videos so that you are fully informed about what's going on with the course, the course material, and the ancient Greek background to be able to move you along. Okay, so the calendar provides you with that, and then there's an outline of the relevant course material under the links that again pertains to Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides, and the societal and cultural and historical background of ancient Greece or ancient Athens that's relevant for the plays that you're reading for those particular days. Okay, so again, the material provided for you on the calendar guides you as to the due date when things have to be completed. The documents that are pertinent for the completion of those assignments, that includes handouts and the actual assignments themselves, are also attached to each calendar entry. So pay attention to that as well. Those same documents can be found elsewhere also, resources, assignments, and forums. But each time you do log into Sakai and go to the workshop, the first place you should always go is the calendar to be sure that you're properly oriented and that you're on track and on time with the completion of the assignments. So watch for those, and especially watch those documents to be sure that you have everything in place and it's all fitting together properly. Okay, so that's the calendar. Resources provides you with the informational documents that you need, including the three handouts on Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides, and maps and some other helpful documents to help you along. Now, important thing about resources that's a little tricky, you have to be careful about. The midterm exam and the final exam, when we get close to the due dates for those, will also show up under resources for you to download and complete and resubmit. The thing is, though, those exams are only in resources for a limited period, only for either a few days before the due date if you're taking the summer schedule, or a week before the due date if you're taking the school year schedule. Either way, though, the midterm and the final are only available for a limited number of days under resources, and then after the due date, they disappear. If you fail to get the exam downloaded off of resources before the due date, then you're going to be in trouble because you will not be able to get the exam, and you'll have to email me to say that you couldn't find it, and I'll explain to you that you missed it, and I'll send you a copy of it. But then you're going to have to submit it in late, and the late deduction will come off the grade for the midterm or the final. So don't let that happen to you. Make sure that you get those exams off of resources when you are advised to go and find them. And I will send out emails to warn everybody that, to go and get them, so that they will make sure to pick those up and be able to complete them properly. Okay, so that's resources. Assignments lists for you the discussion questions that need to be completed when appropriate, and the other assignments, Athens Day, presentations for Sophocles, and the debate trail on Medea. So check those out, and it's nice to see them under assignments all listed together. You can just check them off to be there to be sure that you have them all complete at the appropriate times and submitted on the appropriate forums. So watch for those carefully so that you have those all in place. Okay, now let's talk about forums. Forums is a very important part of Sakai. Forums has two main components for it that you need to deal with. First of all, each forum has the date on it, in which you must complete the assignment yourself that is listed on the forum, which might be one discussion question or an Athens Day assignment or a presentation on Sophocles or the debate trail of Medea, whatever it might be. That's going to be given to you on the forum, and that's what you need to submit yourself by the due date in order not to get any late deduction. The second thing, however, has to do with your attendance. Now, later on when you check out the syllabus, you will see the grading breakdown, and you'll see 20% related to attendance and performance in class. Attendance has to do with the second element that you have to do on the forum, which is to provide a response to some other student's entry on the same forum. You must do at least one of those each session that the class meets. You, of course, are welcome and very much encouraged to do more than one. As many as possible would really be great. And the more you do and the more stimulated by the course material you appear, obviously, the more impressive you'll look to me and the better chance you'll have of getting a higher grade. But minimally, one response has to be made to each other student's entry. To some other student's entry. You can wait a couple of days after the due date in order to decide which one you would like to enter. So you don't have to be strictly in by the due date. Of course, it helps if you are, but it's not absolutely necessary. But you have to get one in. If you miss a week and don't get it in, then you're going to be considered to have been absent that week, even if you do get the assignment in. If that happens, then you're going to have a deduction for an unexcused absence on your grade, and that's going to start hurting your grade quite badly if you don't do that. So that those student responses are required. Again, one response to one other student's entry is sufficient. More than that is encouraged for each of the weeks. And if you have that all complete, then you'll have your attendance all squared away, and you'll be in good shape with that part of the grade. Okay. Also, all entries on the forums should be placed in direct text, posted right on the form itself. Do not use attachments because there's too much of a risk that somebody won't be able to open your document and be able to read it. Put direct text directly in the form, then we can all see it and we can all see the responses that all the other students make to your entry. Okay, messages. If you need to contact me, you're welcome to use the Sakai messages and send me an email. Be sure if you do that you check the box that says forward to my email. That way I will receive it by my email and I'll know that you contacted me. If you only put it on Sakai, I might miss your message for some time because I don't check these messages as regularly as I check my regular email. So do that forward with the box checked off, and then I'll be able to receive your message and respond to it much more promptly. Okay, so that's messages. Now, Dropbox. Here's the other very important part of Sakai. We've already mentioned the forums. The forums are where you submit your regular assignments. Again, your daily assignments, your discussion questions and presentations and so forth. The Dropbox should receive only the following items: your midterm exam, your final exam, and any extra credit or other additional projects that you would like to do. They may go in your Dropbox, not on the forums, and nothing at all ever should be emailed to me unless there's a crisis and for some reason you can't get it in the Dropbox, which I know that does occasionally happen. in that case, you can tell me that, and you can email it to me if necessary. You can actually put the midterm and the final exam if you really needed to on the forums also, if you can't get them in the Dropbox. But barring some technical glitch like that, forums get your regular assignments, Dropbox gets your midterm, final, and any other extra credit projects. Please keep those straight. And again, do not email me anything. If you do, I'll just bounce it right back to you and say, no, put it in the forum or the Dropbox. Okay, so please keep that straight. And if you have any questions about that or any difficulty with that, of course, contact me and we'll work it out. Okay, again, we have a list of the YouTube video links for you to be able to watch so that you're following along with the course content. Again, each session has these videos on them, so watch all of them so that you're catching up properly. The syllabus has its own page. You can also find the syllabus under calendar and under resources, but you also have its own page for it. And we're going to talk about the syllabus in the next video to go through its content, but make sure you know where to find it so that you can follow along. If you have to contact me, of course, about the syllabus, you're welcome to do so. Okay, well, here's our sad guy once again, the one who is so sad about tragedy. Let's hope that he is not sad about this part. At least I don't want to be sad about that part. This is the IDEA survey, the one that is provided by the university for all the courses. You'll receive an email from the university and from me indicating that it's time to fill out the survey for the course. Please do so when that comes up. And there's a link for it on Sakai. When you do so, the information will come to both the university and to me. If there's any feedback you have about things about the course that need some improvement, this is always work in progress, so I think it's a good course, but it could always probably use some updating. So if that's the case, then please submit that. Or, of course, if you want to tell us all that the course was wonderful, that you really enjoyed it, that's, of course, very welcome information, and we'd like to hear from you about that as well. So do fill that out. It really is valuable for us to have that information. And submit that into the university. There's also going to be in resources at the time of the final exam a survey called End of Class Survey. That's just me. That one you can fill out and submit directly into your Dropbox together with your final exam, and that's also helpful for me because then I'll be able to check out what you have to tell me and, again, make any improvements if necessary, or else just bask in the glory of having been a really wonderful professor for you, which is what I hope will eventually happen. All right, so review carefully everything on Sakai before you get underway with the course so you know where everything is and will be able to complete the appropriate assignments when you need to and in the places where they need to be completed. Again, any questions, feel free to contact me and I'll reorient you as necessary. Okay, the next video is going to be about the syllabus, so come on right back and we'll start discussing the course syllabus. Thank you so much, and we will see you next video.